Hi netizens, quick one. I have logarithmic equation. The question reads thus: solve log to base 3 of x plus log to base 9 of x is equal to what? 6. This has to do with a logarithmic equation. And you know what logarithm is? Logarithm has to do with the power to which a base is what? Raised. So in this case, there is a bit of complication here because this is a logarithmic equation that has different what bases. You can see base 3 and what base 9. In order to get this solution, we need to use the principle of what different base. So in this case, all I need to do is to recall when you talk about different base, what I need to do here is I'll recall that log to base a of b, when we apply that law of different bases, we can say that log to base a of b can give us log of b. Maybe you can use x as the base or use 10. When a base is not indicated, of course, such logarithm is already in base 10. But let me just keep the base 10 aside. Then let me use base x. Then over log to base x of what? A. What I'm doing in essence is, if you are to do the change of base, this one becomes the numerator, which you are assigned to any given base of your choice. Then this one becomes the what? Denominator. They maintain the same what? Base. That means the change of base has been successfully carried out. So we need it right here and here. Now, what I'm to do here becomes, if that is the case, then log to base 3 of x will now be log of x, maybe let's assign it to base 3, over log of 3 to the same word base 3. Then attach your word plus sign. Then the same procedure. This becomes log to base 3 of x over log to base 3 of 9, then equal to 6. So that is what change of base gives us. At this point, any logarithm to its own base is always what? 1. So this is logarithm to its own base. So 3 will cancel 3. You are having what? 1. So what I have at this point becomes log to base 3 of what? X, then plus. This is 9. Take note. In logarithm, this 9 obviously is what? A perfect square. So in 9, I can get 3 squared, which is 3 raised to power 2. And using the power rule, this can come here as the word coefficient because of the size of the board. So I will explain it. Then this case here becomes, if you have log to base 3 of 9, in other words, if this 9 happens to be a perfect square, I can express it as log to base 3 of 3 raised to power 2. Then applying the power rule, this comes here. It becomes 2 log to base 3 of 3. Remember what I said here earlier. Any logarithm to its own base is what? 1. So I'm having 2 times, remember 3 cancel 3, right? 2 times 1, which is what? 2. So at this point, what I will have becomes log to base 3 of x over just what? 2, then equal to 6. Now at this point, log to base 3 of x and log to base 3 of x, they are what? Similar, true or false. So all I need to do is to substitute. I want to can say let log to base 3 of x be what? Maybe any of the variables. Let me use y. Let it be y. So Anyway I come across log to base 3 of x, it becomes what? Y. So in this equation, we substitute into the equation. So log to base 3 of x becomes y, which is y, then bring down your what? Plus. Log to base 3 of x is also what? Y. So I'm having y, then over 2, then over 2 equal to 6. It is becoming something you are much conversant with, right? At this point, this becomes equation involving fraction. So the only thing I need here is to multiply both sides by LCM. What is the LCM? 2. So 2 times y will give us what? 2y. Then 2 cancels 2 here. We are having just plus y. Then 2 times 6 will give us what? 12. Then what is the next approach? We add up 2y plus y is what? 3y, which is equal to 12. I'll divide both sides by the coefficient of what? Y, which is 3. Over 3, over 3. 3 cancels 3. Y is equal to 4. Of course, we have to find the value of x, not what? Y. So we can now say, but this same y is something as what? Log to base 3 of x, right? So, but log to base 3 of x is equal to what? Y. So if log to base 3 of x is y and y is 4, so we can say that log to base 3 of x is also what? 4. In that case, we plug it into the equation. So what do we get? We say log to base 3 of x will be equal to 4. Then we apply the general rule in what? Logarithm. What is that general rule? The general rule states that for every logarithmic equation, there must be a corresponding exponential equation. So in that case, this comes as the power. So I'll have 3 raised to the power of 4 will be equal to x, which is something as x is equal to 3 raised to the power of 4. Of course, 3 raised to the power of 4 means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, right? So 3 times 3, 9. 9 times 3, 27. 27 times 3 is what? 81. So the value of x in this equation is what? 81. Sorry for stressing you a bit. Please like, comment, and share. Bye-bye.